Hi guys, I hope you're doing really good. Welcome to Libra season. It is Libra time. Okay, let's talk about Libra. This is the chart for today, September 22nd, 2022. And this is actually a chart for tonight at exactly 7:04 p.m. Mountain Time or 5:04 p.m. Eastern Time. The sun will move into Libra. And so this is what the chart looks like for the moment that the sun enters Libra this year. Okay. So every year, the sun makes its way all the way through the zodiac, right? That's how everybody gets their sun signs, right? So I'm a Virgo, you might be a Scorpio, you might be a Leo. And the reason why you are is because the sun was making its way through what you might call like the domain of the constellation in question. So each of these things is a constellation in the sky, right? And they're kind of fixed, and then the sun kind of goes from the Earth's perspective. From the Earth's perspective, it looks like the sun is going through each of these constellations, and there's 12 constellations. So it takes about 1 month for the sun to transit, or about 30 days. Okay, so and those it usually is on like the 22nd or the 21st of the month is when there's typically the transition into the next sign. So, okay, here we are. Let's talk about Libra. Okay, this is the sign for Libra. It is the scales of justice. Okay, that is what you're looking at when you're seeing Libra. And um, I just think it's the perfect symbol for Libra. Libra is all about uh, fairness and balance. Okay, Libra loves balance. Libra is obsessed with fairness. Okay, my beautiful grandma is a Libra and she needs everything to be fair. I think this story is hilarious. Okay, um, so she has two sisters, and one of her sisters died like many years ago, when I was just a kid. And one of the things, so my great grandma said that she would pay for the one daughter's headstone. um and my grandmother was like, hey, if you pay for her headstone, you have to pay for all of our headstones. And the great grandma said, okay, yeah, that seems fair. And my grandmother said, well, then you have to pay the same amount for each of us as you do for her headstone. And grandma said, yeah, okay, that sounds fair. So my nana and her sister went out and picked like the most craziest, most expensive tombstone that they could find for their sister so that both of them would have it made in the shade when it came to their own headstones. That great grandma was on the hook for. But I just love my own grandma as an example of that, because I have all these kids, but we never just get one toy. Every single person needs their own toy. She doesn't want people to have to share. She wants it to always be fair, and the best way to have it be fair is for everyone to have their own one, right? So it makes a lot of sense. Um, Libra Libra really wants things to be fair. And so that's okay. So Libra has a reputation for being indecisive for that reason. Okay. So one of the like running jokes in the astrological world is like never let a Libra choose where we're going to eat for dinner. Because it's like, oh man, will they ever be able to make a decision? Um, but I actually don't necessarily find that that's always true. I feel like it can be true, and I feel like that's kind of a wounded form of Libra, to be very indecisive and to be unable to look at the two options and weigh them and come up with a decision. And I also, um, how do I put it? So Libra has a reputation for being very friendly and willing to sweep things under the rug for the sake of keeping the peace, because they want to keep the balance, right? Libra is the one that's in charge of one-on-one relationships and like marriages. Okay, so if you want to know about your marriage, you want to know about um your dating life, or how you might meet your spouse or whatever, you would look at Libra on a chart, or look at the seventh house. You'd look at both. And Venus is in charge of Libra. um but what I found is that a lot of times Libra energy actually can be pretty decisive and pretty powerful and pretty unwilling to sweep things under the rug, because if they see something that is unfair, uh, that can just absolutely incense a Libra to the point of taking action, even though they don't want to ruffle feathers. Like the Libra default setting does not want to ruffle feathers. It doesn't want to upset people. It doesn't want to cause a rift in, what, I don't know. It just doesn't want to cause fights and stuff like that. And so I think that makes sense. But they will go to bat. Like they will start a fight if things are like extremely unfair and they feel like they need to correct it. And so of course it depends on other stuff that's going on in a person's chart, as to how that will show up for them. But yeah, I feel like Libra energy can actually be really proactive and really decisive. When it knows that something is unfair, Libra energy is going to take action and try and fix it. It might go into martyr zone and just feel terrible instead, but a lot of times Libra energy can really be decisive and just a powerful warrior for fairness, for making things be balanced, and they can see really easily. Libras just see really easily when things are out of balance. And that is such a gift. So good. So Libra is also really famous for loving beauty, which makes sense because Venus is in charge of Libra, right? And so one of my favorite examples of this, somebody had a Libra moon in the 7th house, and I was doing her reading, and I said, I bet that you really care about what you look like and looking nice. She said, oh, well, I guess I usually do, but you're seeing me, I just woke up and I'm like still in my pajamas. So don't take what I look like as my normal, like I usually do dress up. I usually have myself looking really nice. And I said, I don't know, you look really nice. You already put on all your makeup. She said, oh no, I got that tattooed on. And I love that. That's like such a moon in the 7th house in Libra kind of thing, where it's like, yes, this like desire to be glamorous, even when you wake up, you just woke up and your makeup is done because you had it tattooed on, So I just loved how that showed up for her. But Libra energy loves beauty. It really just has an eye for design. Okay, Libra energy can take a look at a space or a person, or a face, and know like what kind of decor it could benefit from, what kind of clothing, what kind of makeup. Libra energy is just really attuned to beauty and making things be beautiful, and yeah, making things get along, and very, very invested in partnerships. So let's talk for a moment. Oh, let me share my screen. Oh. And so this is, today. And here's the sun at 0000 of Libra, and I calculated it exactly. Look, 1 minute before, it's in Virgo, and now it's in Libra. And interestingly, this Libra season kicks off exact Mercury in retrograde. So that will be one thing to keep an eye on today. Everyone is going to be at risk for saying the wrong thing and being misunderstood in the context, especially of marriage, being misunderstood in our one-on-one relationships, business partnerships, anywhere that you are feeling like things are unfair. Okay, this is a big potential to be misunderstood, to feel misunderstood, to misunderstand others. Okay, if you see something and you jump to a conclusion about what the person means, now is the time to not jump to that conclusion and take a step back and like truly think, reevaluate. Mercury retrograde always invites us to everything, rethink, redo, revisit, revise, research, reevaluate, okay, rediscuss, revisit, all of that stuff. But Mercury is also our thought processes. And so this could be a day where we don't understand things right the first time, or where we think we understand things, but we are not understanding the truth. So I would just urge you all this entire Libra season, because this is the birthday of Libra season, right? This is the first breath of Libra season for this year. For the next 30 days, I would just continually reevaluate your own like inner self, and if you might be misunderstanding other people, if you might be saying things in a way that other people are not understanding very well. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. And I just love this for us. Neptune is exact the ascendant for this Libra season. Very intuitive, but with a warning, because Pisces is always that question. Am I super psychic? Am I completely bonkers, right? Am I insane or am I super intuitive, right? And so this is going to be the question that I think a lot of us may find ourselves asking. Was I crazy? Have things just not shown up the way I expected yet? So if something comes up in your life where you were expecting one thing and receive another thing, um, it's just really good to remember that this is a time when things are a little uncertain. Like looking at this chart, this is not really a chart of certainty. Um, Saturn, the planet that I would say is like the planet of certainty, is here in Aquarius, so he's doing his own thing. Aquarius does its own thing in the 12th house where no one can see it. Neptune is famously uncertain and it's sandwiched between the ascendant and Jupiter, which expands everything that it touches. So massive uncertainty about how we're all going to be showing up. Here is, you know, Uranus right next to the North Node, as it has been for like a long time now, and it will continue to be for a while. Um, Uranus is the planet of instability and surprise events. And yeah, I don't know. This just looks, and then with that Mercury in retrograde right conjunct the sun, it just looks to me like the next month, uh, I don't know how much stuff we can trust. The stuff that we see on the news, the stuff that we are experiencing and trying to make decisions about, we may not be qualified to know for sure what's true and what's not true. And that's just going to be the flavor of this month. And the good thing is that we don't have to, I mean, if we can hold space, we can choose to allow things to show up for us as they will. I don't know. I don't think we need to stress about it, but just to be aware of the possibility that more might be going on than we understand. We may be prone to misunderstanding. We may be prone to uncertainty. That's okay. It's in the stars. It's okay. It's okay. And just for this little Libra season, and then the sun will enter Scorpio. Okay, so there we go. The last thing that I want to mention really quick is that the sun in Libra is going to be that your brain thinks like a Libra. Okay, you think in a Libra way. Probably like your default settings are very into fairness, balance. Probably like romantic relationships are really important to you. Partnerships and friendships are really important to you. If your moon is in Libra, then that's going to be like your heart, okay? Like your feelings. Your feelings are in Libra. And so what that means is on an emotional level, your emotions are going to be really wired in with fairness, balance, issues of discrimination, issues of when justice and I don't know, all of those things are going to be like very emotional for you. And basically your emotional structure is of your inside heart. First off, Libra is an air sign, so it's going to be a little bit more on the mental end of things rather than the emotional end. Your emotions will feel more mental. You will probably think your emotions more than feel them as your default setting. But that moon in Libra, like that great example I shared where she had her moon in Libra in 7th and she had the all her makeup tattooed on, but that's a placement. Moon in Libra, fashion sensibilities. Geez, Libra is like an extremely fashionable energy. And so Libra rising, you probably show up beautifully. People with Libra rising, they really prioritize what they look like. For a couple of reasons. First off, they love beauty. They just love beautiful things. And so, of course, they also want to be a beautiful thing. They love looking at beautiful things. They want to be a beautiful thing. And they're not just usually beautiful like externally, but on their internal side, with the rising sign as well, like they are desiring to interact with other people in a way that promotes fairness, balance, and strong, healthy one-on-one relationships. And what was my last thought about Libra rising? I'm thinking of a man whose chart I read who had Libra rising, and he was just a warrior, just an absolute defender of what is true and what is right. And that Libra fuel just like kept him going because everywhere he saw injustices, he was like, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that. And it was just so inspiring and decisive. I just loved it. Um, okay. Well, I'm going to ask myself, is there anything else that everybody needs to know about Libra right now? And I'm getting a no. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Welcome to Libra season. Happy birthday, all you Libras out there. I hope that you have the super best birthday and a fabulous birthday month. And even though we will have some, that Mercury retrograde action, having that rising Pisces, exact Neptune, coloring the season of Libra this season, um, you know, that can give us a lot of power to trust our own intuition as long as we're just careful about it. Mercury retrograde invites us to slow down and think it over twice, 2 times. And so when we're getting intuitions and we're not sure if they're true or not, it's the time to slow it down and think about it. Right? We do the double take, and that should help us make the right choice and come to the right conclusions. So, okay, thanks for being here and welcome to Libra season. Yay! Bye.